Hey, what's up? Hello. Da 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 do 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 do. Okay, why do I see myself twice here? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay. Okay. There we go. We are live, right? Everything should be working fine. It should be working fine. I think I fixed certain things. Let's see. Like six. This is like 6-0. Da 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a little bit of an earlier stream. If you are just in the chat, just wait 1 or 2 minutes before I do. The internet is a little slow because there's a lot of things going on at the exact same time. There's a lot of things going on at the exact same time. We gotta close some stuff. Whoa, 15 watching already. Damn, you guys are absolutely amazing. You guys actually just 15 already. Hold up. Let's see. What is this? What is this for? Like my internet's being a little slow right now because I'm uploading a video. I'm rendering. I am streaming. What is this? People are posting emojis. Ah, I see. Hello, snipers. This is a test. Does anyone see this? Okay, so you guys are seeing this. So you guys are seeing this. All right, you guys are seeing this. So that is absolutely fantastic. That is what we love to see. Is this YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain? Oh, okay. We are buffering a little bit. My guy, I tried looking for your coin. Hello. I tried looking for your coin on like Deck Screener, Brock, or whatever the hell you pronounce it. I couldn't find it. Oh, things are so slow right now. Oh, things are so slow. Hopefully we will be fine. We should be fine. If not, then we're gonna have to maybe cancel the upload, or we'll see. We're gonna be talking about news overall, right? We're gonna be talking about news overall. There's a few things I do want to cover because some of you guys do actually like the news aspect of the streams. You guys do like the charts. Let's load up Bitcoin. We'll start with Bitcoin. We'll start with the news a little bit. And then yeah, there's also a scam. I need to show you guys a type of scam so you guys don't fall for it. Let's see. There we go. I feel like my computer is genuinely dying right now, and the internet. Because there's a video uploading. There's a video also getting checked out. There's something rendering. People downstairs are streaming their TV and everything. All right. Boom, boom, boom. We can see. All right. We also have to. Dear Lord, how do I? Is this it? Oh God, what the hell did I just do? Ah, close. Guys, sorry, I'm still new to the whole streaming thing. Things will be better as of next week for sure. There's still some little technical difficulties here and there from my end. I don't understand why I see myself twice, and I know this absolutely does destroy. Yeah, market not looking good. I know. The market was bait. It was baiting us. We've been talking about it. Okay, guys, first of all, I want to address this because some of you guys, maybe there's a chance you might fall for this type of scam, maybe not. Okay, but look, there's Watch Guru, right? There's Watch Guru on Twitter, right? People pretend to be this Watch Guru, right? We can see that, look, the biggest crypto pump signal is here. Join the action, right? Some type of link, a bunch of ads. I got quoted in this, and then we can see, right? We go to this. It's actually crazy because I swear to God, I swear on everything, unless I really, really tripped out. I could have sworn it was 52,000 likes, but still, or 52,000 retweets, but still 5,200 retweets compared to, you know, a low amount of likes. I mean, the retweets never are more than the likes in the first place, unless it's a specific type of thing. But we see BlackRock is officially launched its own token rock on Ethereum, limited sales, blah, 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 blah. We can see, boom, only 764 followers, a few comments. They, you know, it's just a scam, right? It is just a scam. So yeah, you know, just be careful for that. We are going to cover Bitcoin a little bit, and then we are going to look at some of the news that has been happening around the world, right? Around the world. So we could actually see, if I pull this up here and we listen, I don't know how the volume should be on your end, but we can see, right? Senator, right, says crypto stablecoin. Oh my God, I need some water. Where is my water? Got a big one right here. You know what I'm saying? Got a big water right here. Actually, there's green on this. I wonder how this looks. So how does this look in the... My water, look at that. Some of the bottles disappearing because it's green. And I have a green screen, so... Practically, he's saying it is going to propel America's payment system into the 21st century. So let's cover this, right? That's what he says. Hopefully the audio is all right.
We have broad agreement, Kaylee, with respect to the content of the stablecoin legislation, My Genius Act. And this is going to, I think, take us into the 21st century in terms of upgrading our payment systems. It's going to have very desirable effects, taking the U.S. economy into the digital assets arena, keeping innovation here, lowering risk here in America, and putting in place guardrails that will protect consumers, because every one of these stablecoins will be backed up dollar for dollar with U.S. treasuries. Very positive outcome here. We've got very strong support.
All right, so we can see that, right? We can see that, right? Overall, I know some people are not, you know, they want it to be super decentralized, super this, super that. This is good news, right? This is good news. Bobo on ETH. Bobo on ETH. I think I've heard of, is Bobo that like little Bobo? A lot of the coins are some of the coins you guys have. Caspa, there's literally a Caspa video coming out within like an hour, hour and a half. So we did cover that. Overall, the markets are expected to bleed out, right? The markets are expected to bleed out just as we just have, you know, we've been saying this for a while now. Even last week, we said that we expect like Monday, Tuesday for sure to be some kind of down movement, right? Some kind of down movement was expected. I'm pretty sure I know which one Bobo is. Like I said, my internet computer is dying a little bit because I do have practically 2 uploads happening right now. And is it this guy? Ah, it's this guy. Yeah. Well, 112K liquidity. That's it. Is this the official one? It's got to be. There's no way this is it, right? There's no way this is it. 112K liquidity. That's terrible. I'm gonna go on coin market cap instead. Let's see. We're gonna check the volume. We're gonna check everything. If this only has 112K liquidity, that is really, really bad. And I do not expect this coin to do good. Whoa, whoa. Boo, 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 boo. 781 in the world. Let's see. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Okay, no, well, 3 million volume in the last 24 hours is not, it's actually not that, it's okay. It's a decent ratio for this coin. Yeah, so these coins usually have to do a quick pump. I definitely think this coin is going to go back to roughly like the 11 to 15 million market cap. That's 6 million market cap right there. That's 6 million market cap. but it doesn't show this on, why doesn't it show this on this? Yeah, I definitely think this coin is going to drop at least another like 30-40%. There's the whole markets are expected to bleed for the next couple of days before they do rally up. So if you are personally invested in this coin, you do believe in this coin, then you do have some amazing dollar cost averaging opportunities very, very soon. um I'll look at some of the other coins soon, guys. I just want to talk about Bitcoin. I want to look at some news, and then we might cover altcoins just a little bit later. So yeah, Bitcoin, we've been talking about it, right? This is expected manipulation. We literally have like the same type of chart pattern, right? We literally have the same thing. So we are consistently forming lower and lower highs, right? We can see that every time we have a bullish candle, right? A bullish candle over here, it gets swept by this one. Same thing, gets swept. We can see we literally also had here 3 days of bullish price action before it started to drop. And we are literally like doing the exact same thing. We literally are. So I expect probably like Thursday and Friday to be the nail in the coffin in terms of the dump, as we do have NFP, coming up this Friday. So we do have big news, right? We do have very big news coming up this Friday. So expect manipulation, right? This thing always pumps. Like you will see if you trade forex anything, sometimes you'll see something move 120 pips. You'll see like gold slam down like 20-30 bucks. You'll see Bitcoin go down thousands. So Friday, June 6th, very, very huge, which actually when I start expect the final manipulation and then the recovery. And then Saturday is probably also going to be decent. And you know what? Even Sunday might be decent. I expect for us to be going upwards of like 110 to 112,000 dollars by the end of the week. If not, then that means the global liquidity index chart with our settings, something may have changed. So far, the last few times we have had it perfect, right? We have had it perfect. If we go to here, no, not this. I want this to get changed. This, right? It's been perfect the last few times. 91 days from the top, 91 days from the bottom, right? Practically we can see when we pumped up here, where was this? Boom, boom. So 91 days. So that was a big pump. It was slow. Then it pumped up again, right? So we jumped up somewhere over here, right? That's where most of the pump happened, right? So like 91 days, somewhere over here. And then, yeah, we can see when we actually did top out, we topped out perfectly at 91 days, which was this over here. Then the bottom, 91 days. And then we usually expect some kind of manipulation before we go up, right? We expect some manipulation. The next weekly candle should be going up a lot higher, right? We talked about how we can be yeah, we could be looking at potentially like 120k Bitcoin by mid-June. According to global liquidity and stuff. Hey, recently they have been good about dumping before your paycheck and pumping before it hits your account. Oh, yeah, because but you might still be able to catch it. I know some people get paid out on a Thursday, sometimes early Friday. Some people get paid out Friday afternoon. So hopefully you'll be able to catch it, or not financial advice, but maybe temporarily take a little bit of a like use your credit card or something. Obviously you got to make that call, not me. But yeah, we're going to be covering some more news. I do want to look at some more news, ladies and gentlemen, so we will be covering that. We can see if I pull it up right here. Aha. Right, is it this article right over here? Boom. We can see. Boom. So let it load. Like I said, my internet is being a little bit slow. streaming services are like being happening downstairs. The final upload is in. One upload already stopped, and the render is good. So things should be back to normal very, very soon. So we can see JP Morgan to now accept Bitcoin and crypto ETFs as collateral for loans. Huge, 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 ladies and gentlemen, right? Huge. And, you know, this was kind of expected. This is kind of expected. The banks getting involved with Bitcoin, with ETFs, with crypto in general. I'm sure, like you're going to be able to buy crypto probably from banks soon. I would not be surprised if you're able to buy Bitcoin, let's say from banks directly, or store Bitcoin from banks directly within the next few short years. Right? It would not be surprising to see that happen. Right? So, of course, we do want to, we do actually want this adoption stuff, especially for this altcoin season, especially for everything. In the future, it might, cause less money to happen. Less money might happen. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, for the short term, it is definitely good. By less money, I mean like we might get crappier altcoin season pumps, more restrictions, blah, 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 blah. But there's always going to be some type of pumps and dumps. There's always going to be some meme coins. They can't really control too much. You just might have to pay more in taxes, and maybe there won't be 100x pumps or 50x pumps, but there'll still be some types of pumps, because that's just how the world works. What's up? What's up? Right? What is up, my guy? Let's see. I'll try finding Brock one more time. Like I said, we will probably talk about altcoins soon. Turbo and Toshi, they are expected to be dropping, right? They are. Nothing has changed in terms of the bias. Let's see if this coin pops up. Oh, this guy. Man, we talked about this guy already, right? It is slowing down. It is slowing down, but like I said, there were no signs of slowing down yesterday. And I still expect it to go higher. So we won't really talk about this coin. I already talked about this coin. I'm personally not going to be investing in it because I would have to do some research. I'd have to, see how things are. So yeah, guys, listen, this is huge. So you see, in what is a major announcement for banks' continued cryptocurrency shift, JP Morgan is set to officially begin accepting Bitcoin and other crypto-based ETFs as collateral for loans. Indeed, the 3.6 trillion asset manager will begin providing financing against products like BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust IBIT, according to Bloomberg. The decision aligns with a growing sentiment shift for the cryptocurrency sector. See, this is why you have to always do your own research, and you always have to be 2 steps ahead. Because if you just get the green light now to put all your money in Bitcoin, you're buying like 105K, right? When we saw that shift in technical analysis structure, okay, this is funny, but like when we had a smaller channel back then, like 20 people, right? We're just saying how great times to be buying. I literally have proof of me buying Bitcoin literally somewhere right over here, because I saw this weekly candle rejection, and I remember it's on my private story. So one day maybe I'll share with you guys. But yeah, right? That's why I don't listen to news, because I already know. Like, you just gotta think 2 or 3 steps sometimes, which is could burn you, but a lot of times it won't. The decision aligns with the growing sentiment shift for cryptocurrency sector in traditional finance. JP Morgan CEO Jamie has long been a skeptic regarding the potential Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, yet the firm has continued to engage with its asset and its offerings over the last year, right? Because there's money to be made. There's money where there's money to be made. The banks, countries will always come in. That, like, crypto is so young. You guys got to realize that the stocks, they reached like 180 trillion total market cap last year. Bitcoin's like at what? Like 3.3 trillion? We are literally, just off the top of my head, like 60 times smaller than the stock market. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to pump all the way up there right away, but what I'm saying is there's so much potential to be making money. This is why America is going all in on crypto, because they want to get as much as they can. This is why Russia is getting in, China is getting in, right? I think maybe I've even seen something about North Korea. I don't know. I'll have to verify that. But so many countries are getting in. So many European countries getting in. So many second world countries are getting in. So many third world countries are getting in and have been already. But America is like practically the most important, because America says go, the countries follow. If we had rate cuts in QE, altcoin season would have already occurred. I mean, possibly, yeah, because of like the more money and stuff. But at the end of the day, the only thing, literally like the main chart I look for to indicate if altcoin season is going to happen is Bitcoin dominance. And like I said, I know you guys, a lot of you guys joined recently. They, joined the channel in the last maybe like 6 months, because that's when I really started to pick up traction. But we have literally been talking about Bitcoin dominance since like February, because that's when I started to upload. And we already talked about how I've been expecting to probably at least go to this range forever. And I knew altcoins are not going to be pumping the way you guys want to be pumping until we get to a certain zone, dump heavy, like probably 9 to 13%, struggle to go back up, and obviously then dump, right? So that's what I've been looking for and been waiting for like over a year now. Or well, technically like 2 years, but in terms of the channel, it's been over a year. So yeah, I just thought like altcoins would hold better, right? I thought, oh, if I buy render, let's say like at $3 hypothetically, right? I'm like, oh yeah, like render is gonna be holding, by the time 2025 happens, render's already gonna be holding like $15 no matter what. So, or something like that, So I did definitely underestimate and overestimate certain things, which is part of, I guess, learning and stuff. But that is okay. That is okay. The shift is coming soon. Whether it is, we still need to see if there's going to be confirmation of a big drop. Probably not. We do have like a monthly doji candle. I really doubt altcoin season is just around the corner. It is, but it isn't. But I doubt it's going to be happening within the next couple weeks. That's what I'm saying. I still think we are probably like, I mean, 3 to 6 months is kind of long, but more like 2 to 5 months, more like 2.5 to 5 months is like the main range. Like I said, late summer, early falls where I already start expecting it, and max should be like heading into late fall. Like that's max. Because the Bitcoin dominance chart is almost there. Now we're just waiting for the break. We are waiting for the break. So yeah, I do genuinely believe that we are somewhere right here, right? Somewhere right here. So we see, right? There was 2 more weeks of a pump, a week of like rejection, and a couple weeks of going down. So like I said, the altcoin season, the little start of it, the shift could be happening in just a few short weeks, but an actual altcoin season, the 4 to 6 weeks of absolute, chaos is probably going to be happening in a few short months. Hello, everyone that's in the chat. Mr. Pegleg Wally. You think the bull market will be in 2026? That would be an extended cycle. If we do continue to 2026, I think it's going to be like a second top, right? I think, the last time how Bitcoin went up to like 60K or whatever, then dropped back down to 30, and then again like around 16.5K, and then boom, right? And then boom. So if we do get this second pump, I do think it's going to be early 2026, because I do expect like some type of big crash and recession to be happening most likely in 2026. I do not see us going further, and I'm being really generous right now, like really generous with the timing. I do not see us going further than a year in terms of being bullish, like, and that's already pushing and being extremely, extremely generous. I kind of hope we don't pump over the weekend, because then we will gap or make another gap. I'm sick of gaps. Oh yeah, I always forget. I always do have this chart. Let's see, are there any gaps right now? Not really. There's nothing. Whoa. That would not be ideal. What? That would not be ideal. Is this a confirmed gap or is this just because it's on the 4-hour? The thing is, like, technically this could, like, a couple $100 difference, like 300s could be technically filled. Well, I would not, I would be, we went back to 92K, that would be bad because that means global liquidity and the whole structure just shifts to a, like, a lot. Right? I do believe the bigger picture right now, based off global liquidity, based off the last few weekly structures, is that we are retesting off of these areas, right? We're retesting off of these highs to push up higher, right? Kind of like the way we did, you know, like over here. Yeah, it did range for 7.5 months. It did go a decent amount down, but the context was different. The context was really, really different because we were looking to break out at a multiple like years of consolidation. Now we're not looking for that because we have the momentum, right? We created the low, higher low, high, higher high. And now overall, I'm expecting something to pump. I'm expecting to the S&P 500 to pump, right? Where's my potential charts, right? I am expecting this to be getting upwards of, you know, 6,050, let's say, or even upwards of all-time high, right? Somewhere over there. Now, obviously, decent range, but the reason why I have this is because there is global, or sorry, not global liquidity. There's liquidity here and here. And yeah, so I did expect S&P 500 to pump this week. I do expect a little bit of a pullback to then shoot up further on Friday. Yo, it's my main turbo channel, bro. You're all I watched. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit that like button. Soul. We'll cover a few coins before I do end up going. Before I do end up going. Because I do have to go like in 15 minutes. But let's see. But yeah, that's why I have to start the stream a little bit earlier today. But overall, I want to make sure that my schedule comes first, people come second, respectfully. Okay, well, you guys come first. We come first. The snipers come first. Because I do want to be streaming more or less at the time I do say. I know there, because I'm still new to streaming, still might have to reschedule some stuff, but I think 7 p.m. in general works for so many of you guys. We do have a lot of EST viewers. That's also a good time. By the time you guys come home, eat, shower, you might come on, look at the charts a little bit, look at some stuff. But yeah, we'll start covering coins quickly. Overall, guys, it does not matter which coin you want me to look at. I expect downwards movement for the next 2 days. Like, expect your coin to drop like at least like 15 to 20%. Some coins will hold better than others because obviously meme coins always bleed out the most. And then like something like Ondo usually holds very well because it's, you know, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Finance Coin, you know, those, but they still will bleed out a decent amount. That's just reality. Jeezy, you are back, eh? That's how you say name, right? Because now you switch to the one. Or do you have two accounts? But yeah, 92K is all I see on X. Yeah, but the problem is we won't follow global liquidity, right? The chart of global liquidity will be wrong. We might have to readjust certain plans. If we were to go back to 92K, altcoins would go to serious dumps. Serious dumps. You know, we'll get ready to see we're dropping a good amount, and this is just the start. Right? This is just the start. Where's my big water? Just in case you guys have not seen, big water. Thank you for the likes. We have 31 viewers, 10 likes. Now, obviously, some people, we were a little bit higher, we were a little bit lower. Some people may have came and left, but practically, we have a 1-in-3 ratio, which is fantastic, which is very, very supportive. Very, very, very supportive. So I always thank you guys for all of the support. If we go back to 90K, yeah, alts will practically be in the dumps. Like if we went to 92K, we are probably we are taking out this 5.5 cent zone. Like we are going to really dump. Like we are taking out this whole entire area of liquidity, probably going back to like 57 cents for Ondo, Myro. I mean, Myro is like, this coin's like dying because the developer and stuff is not like, you know, doing anything with the community coin. So this would drop below a cent. So yeah, it would not look good. We knew overall that we are going to dump. The 92K gap is a little annoying. Now that doesn't technically mean we have to cover it this cycle, okay? Because I've seen gaps before on gold, on the S&P 500. I've seen it on a couple of things where they just ignore it for a very long time, and then they just kind of crash and dump. When the market starts dumping and crashing, that's when they usually get corrected. I mean, you guys probably have seen this, and you know, just make sure to stick around when we do pull this up. But oil, right? Let's talk about oil. I don't know if you guys knew what happened to oil. If I could find the right chart. Okay, it doesn't matter about its history. What matters? Oh, why is it not? It's called crude. Isn't it called crude? This. No. No, man. I don't understand. I don't understand why I can never find it. I don't understand. Which one is it? Is it this one? Futures? Bruh. Absolute. I'm being a melon right now, but I struggled with this in the past where I couldn't find for the life of me the right oil. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Practically oil went to zero at one point. Oil went to zero on the charts. Oil went to zero. How does it go to zero? How does it go to zero? It wiped out everybody. It literally wiped out the whole history. Anybody that was holding any type of trades or anything just got wrecked. People that sold off oil made a lot of money. The people that bought early, or like they bought like the bottoms, they made a lot of money only if you were on regulated exchanges, like, which is already hard, which a lot of people don't do in terms of forex trading and other stuff, because the main exchanges literally put like a 99 or 99.9% fee. So yeah, you made like $1 million, 99.9% fee, enjoy your $100 or whatever, you know, enjoy $1,000 that you made. So yeah, that they really screwed over people because there's no like real regulations and stuff on these types of exchanges when you trade with your own money if you're not using something legit, right, within your country. And that's just how it is, right? It's just game is game. Is Bonk a safe slash decent meme? Yes. Yes. In terms of a meme, in the context of a meme coin, yes. In the context of a meme coin, yes. In terms of an actual coin, remember, altcoins in general are already riskier. Meme coins are always going to be even more riskier. President Trump says too late. Jerome Powell must lower interest rates now. Okay, so we got some more news. Chinese firm to raise 300 million for XRP Treasury. Let's see. Does this have an article right over here? No, but we can see over here on this news, right? Russia's Moscow Stock Exchange launches Bitcoin futures trading. Guys, I'm telling you, all the countries are going to start doing little things like future trading. Oh, now you can buy this coin, that coin, Bitcoin reserve. Every single country is going to start doing it. Okay. I ran out of money on the last major dump. Message retracted. Can I view it or no? What happened? Put user in timeout. I didn't know what you said, Jim Bean. I was gonna pretend like you didn't say anything bad. Mm, yeah, I would like to see the 92K gap next cycle, because then we at least know it's going to go to 92K, which I think it is going to go lower than 92K. I think it was like, when I was looking at it, I probably expect like 80K, but we'll see. We'll always have to see. Most of my turbo bag was bought at the 0.0004. That recent dip to 0.0001 was a godsend. I turned my average buying cost from the 4 to 2. My bag is like perfect now when turbo goes to moon. Yeah. So yeah, when you have the funds, the dollar cost average, or you just, to really get that ratio in better, you know, obviously you always have to make your own choice, but I love doing that because, like I said, if a price is up here for a coin, let's say I'll put like $100. If it goes down here, I'll put like 170. And if I really like a premium price, I might slap like a 400, Now, I know this is like messy, but you guys get the point. The lower it gets, the more aggressive I get. Um, Obviously within the context. Because once altcoin season happens and we start going to bear season, and there's a big dip, I'm not buying the big dip. Right? I am not buying the big dip unless literally something like this happens where first pumps happen, first altcoin season happens, we cash out, we see something similar potential, then I might put partially some money in terms of my winning gains, right? So let's say it doesn't matter. Let's say I made what let's just say I made like let's say I made 20x, right? Let's say 20x. I'm willing to maybe risk 10 to 20% of that, maybe 15%. Maybe I'll risk like 3 times my gains, whatever is like, 15% of these gains. Maybe I'll risk it here if I see confirmation. And then if I see more, then maybe I'll risk another like 10%, right? So maybe I'm risking like one fifth of the gains I made to potentially make, a little bit more, and then say goodbye. Thank you very much for the second pump. I am not going, right. So if I turn, for example, like if I made 100K, I am not putting like 100K back in here. I am absolutely not. Like at most, if I really see confirmation, if I really see a second pump happening, at most I'd put like 20K if I made 100K, like at most. But I most likely would risk like maybe like 10 to 15K if I see confirmation. I'm not gonna just blindly, buy, because I know when altcoin season happens and stuff, there's never a second altcoin season promised, right? Obviously, we'd have to look at the charts and stuff, but it's just at that point, it's just, only if there's like confirmation in the charts. Because if there's not, no way, man, no freaking way am I taking the risk. I'd rather just wait things out. I'd rather just, potentially consider shorting the market if, I see opportunity and structure and etc. And then just buy during like the end of bear season once things really start slowing down, right? Start buying near this area. When we get confirmation, buy more, and then the cycle continues, right? The cycle continues. Just is better to reset. It really is. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think 90 to 125K bear. Thanks. Bought a big bag of turbo at the 5 and 7. Never sold. Wish I took profit and bought back in the dips. Have higher multipliers. I'm Canadian and I'm like $100. I'm like $100 Canadian. At the time was like 65K coins on turbo. It was so premium. Thanks for all your work. I hope I don't blow it this cycle. Last cycle I lost 50% of my profit because I held too long. I still made awesome money, but I lost. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That is the thing. Don't worry, Jim Bean. You're fine. I trust you. Even if you hypothetically did say something, right? You clearly didn't, because no one said anything. And you know what I'm saying? It was deleted. This is my first bull cycle, but I'm doing a lot of research and enjoying it. Yeah. You are, Mr. Kimbo, here at a very great time. You are here at a great time. Right? You are here at a great time, because if you're during this time, that means you're here much earlier than like literally 99% of people. 99% of people. Don't worry, Jim Bean is free. Jim Bean didn't do anything. Listen, Peg Leg. Yeah, I know it hurts, but at least, right? I know this is like Mr. Positive, which some people don't like, but at least you still made 50%. I know like you kind of like, you know, you could have a double, whatever. You gotta realize some people, they implode, they self-sabotage, and they just never ever take the profits because they're like, no, I had double, so now I'm going to self-destruct and I'm going to lose my money. My friend in stocks did that. He was up, I don't know, he put in like, he made a lot, like he was up thousands of dollars. I think his average was like 4x on stocks within a couple of weeks. And then when he saw it going down, he refused to cash out profits. Like he saw like 15K maximum, and then he saw like 13 or 12 and a half, and he just refused, and he said, no, I'm going to ride it down. And I think eventually he still made a little bit of money because he didn't self-destruct. Either he broke even or he made like 1 or 2 grand profit instead of like cashing out like the thousands, because he was just self-destructive. Yeah, which is why, you know, guys, see, everyone, all of you guys have different amount of money invested, right? But even if you have like, let's just say like 2 grand, depending on when you bought, what you bought, that might be like 20 or 40 grand at one point, right? Which is going to be obviously a lot of money. Great multiplier. You guys are really gonna have to lock in terms of education, in terms of, you know, listening to the right people, being in a community, whatever it is, because I'm telling you, there's going to be so many YouTubers that just say, I watched back a couple of videos from people from last cycle. I swear to God, when we were like on the 3rd or 4th week of the pump for altcoin season, people were saying, oh yeah, guys, we're still gonna, I think this coin can 10x, 20x from here. Yeah, it has a very strong community. You know, everyone loves crypto, and that was their analysis. And guys, there's going to be so many positive headlines during its peak, but you have to realize that is just noise. Okay, when we go up, everyone says we're going to be going up forever. When we go down, people say it's over. Okay, and that's including a lot of YouTubers, influencers, whatever, celebrities getting in, people just with influence, people, you know, just the mass people are just going to be saying the same thing. You know, people thought the cycle was already over when we were here, and I just kept saying, on a higher time frame, you know, we are just going to be creating a higher low, right? Did I know at the time 100% this was going to be the bottom? No. But then when April happened, I said, I do believe this is going to be the start of reversal. And then we called it on the channel that I do believe the monthly candle is going to be taken out for March. We're going to have manipulation at the beginning of April, and then we're going to go up, right? So when things slowed down, when the 3-month candle ended, I saw the analysis, I saw how weak March was, and I knew this manipulation with Bitcoin. I still wasn't even like aware of global liquidity and stuff. So, you know, that wasn't even a factor. This was just pure technical analysis. No news, no nothing, pure technical analysis, okay? The 3-month candle was beautiful. It was beautiful. And then I just knew the start of April is going to be manipulation to take it out, because that's the 3-month candle, that's the monthly, that's the weekly, there's a daily, obviously get it. So money gets taken out, and then we start reversing really, really heavily. Did I expect it to be as heavy? No. Did I think it's going to probably take a little bit longer? Yes. But I ultimately did say that, get ready, April, May, June are going to be the recovery months where we should see us back at least here by the end of June, if not even be pumping further. And that's exactly what's playing out. So yeah. uh 95% will lose at this. Taking profits is key. I've been holding Turbo since September of 2024. Okay, so that's probably like, that's a little bit after the pump. Yeah, I've been holding my Turbo since like April, May. I've been like, I had like the A to Z strategy, which is just focus on dollar cost averaging, very low points, and then just cashing out during altcoin season. It's a great strategy. It does have its flaws because you could make like do some type of flips and etc. in between. But the A to Z strategy is really just like, I'm going to dollar cost average when things are low, I'm just going to hold, and I have to cash out this cycle. That's it. That is Z. Is cashing out this cycle near the top. Doesn't have to be the literal top. In fact, I would rather cash out a little earlier, see it pump a little higher, and then start going down, because at least you don't see that potential gains. You're like, oh man, I could have had an extra couple percent, whatever, right? But at least you don't see it, right? So, and then remember, some of you guys are gonna have insane ratios, right? You might, that extra 10% might be like an extra 300,000 to maybe one of you here, right? That's what I'm saying. So you seeing that, like you could have made an extra 300,000, extra 50,000, extra 70,000, extra 20,000, extra couple thousand, you know, that might really affect you if you let it go up all the way and then starts going back down and you don't understand why it's going back down and you just start praying, which I love prayer. Prayer works in life, right? Right? I love prayer. I love God. But when it comes to the markets itself, you can't just be like, I pray, markets, please go back up. I'm going to take my damn profit at what it was. And the thing is, sometimes your prayers get answered. Sometimes your prayers get answered. The markets do go back up to exactly where you said you would cash out, but then you still don't cash out, right? I'm sure maybe some of you guys have dealt with this. I'm sure you've probably heard stories, right? I'm sure this probably does make a lot of sense where you're like, yeah, I could see people doing that, because people get to that point and then they're like, they're feeling good again. They're like, ah, what if it goes higher? It's the greed aspect, right? And it's also not understanding the charts. It's okay for some profits to be lost. I'm gonna go back and watch videos from last cycle. That's a great idea. I want to learn how people navigated it and see who was successful. Make sure I don't mess up this time. I noticed too many YouTubers that are emotional. As soon as I hear them say sell the coins on a red day, I stopped watching. Yeah. Look, this is why I also pre-record my videos, usually like in a day advance, because the thing is, right? Like, if I just do a video saying what is happening in the moment and then I upload it 30 minutes or an hour later, I mean, it's like, yeah, I told you, like, oh, it went down, guys. Well, it's like, yeah, no shit, man. I mean, like, we could obviously see that, but could you have told me earlier? That is the difference between what I'm trying to be and other like crypto influencers. I don't even think I'm an influencer. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. I just like do this, right? I just do this because I love it. It's like a passion. You know, trading is my number one passion. I'm like obsessed with it. Like sometimes I swear to God, I'll go to sleep and I'll see the charts. So sometimes I just need to take a break too from that. But yeah, like I'm really trying to break out in this industry because I don't want people to listen to the wrong people, right? Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't consider myself as a human better than anyone else. I don't care if you have zero knowledge or more knowledge, right? As a human, we are one for one. But when it comes to the technical analysis, I do believe I have a edge over a lot of, you know, these crypto influencers and YouTubers. They'll tell you like the most generic thing. Yeah, guys, I think it's going to go up because it's a great coin. The colors are great. They're this and this. And it's like, dude, like, can you give me some real value? Right? Can you tell me in advance with certain maybe technical analysis or news or, you know, some kind of indicators or whatever that is going to go up? I mean, anyone can say, you know, has gone up, right? But not many people can say it's going to go down. This is why I tell people that, listen, I expect some type of dumps because in general, right? Bitcoin has been trending generally up, right? There's been this 7.5 months of snooze, which I thought was going to be 3 months based off my predictions. I was wrong about that. But then once this happened, I knew this was the shift in momentum. And then when this candle went into this one, I explained it to my like viewers back then, but I was averaging like, depending on the video, like 20 to 40 views. So a lot of you guys probably didn't get that information, but I was saying, look, we are going to break out. We are going to break out, right? And then we were talking about the technical analysis at the time on the channel, something like this. We're going to break out. And then, you know, it happened, right? I did think we were going to hold this better and just go up. My mistake, which I'm actually happy I made this mistake. My mistake was not looking at the lower high, because there's a higher high here in terms of candle closes, right? So that was my mistake, which I'm actually glad that did happen because, like I said, like I didn't care if it was going to dump because my plan was the A to Z strategy. But the thing is, I cannot ignore something like this in the future, because when we are going to see Bitcoin dominance drop, altcoins be pumping and stuff, and I am going to see reversal signs, I'm getting out, because I am not doing like a to Z strategy, holding from one cycle and selling in the next cycle. Like that at that point is just, it's a no, 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 no. It's a no, 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 no. I avoided being a bag holder for most of my coins, but I messed up with some of my gaming coins. In the past, I made some profit. I made some good profit, took some minor loss, and then some just a little bit was a bag. Like I was holding the bag. And then I just swapped it for like an 80% loss for whatever I did have left. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to invest in AI coins. And then like the AI coins just like made up all the money back that I lost. But obviously, like I said, I already still made some decent profit, some good profit, a little bit of loss. And then like whatever was left of just for the investing for the gaming part was a little bit of a loss. But then I just made it back. So, jobless claims that is expected to rise, which is good for crypto because rate cuts will take place. Just curious, how come you look at the Bitcoin for turbo videos even though it's on the Ethereum chain? Because, Kimbo, yes, yeah. So Bitcoin is the head, right? Bitcoin is literally the head. Yeah, I know we have the Ethereum chain. I know we have the Ethereum chain. I know we have the Ethereum chain. Sorry, I just got important text. I do have to go soon. I know we do have the Ethereum chain, but like I said, like you pretty much said, Bitcoin is the head. Bitcoin's the head of the snake. For the most part, Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, other coins go up. I know Ethereum is lagging technically compared to Solana, compared to like Bitcoin's performance, compared to like XRP, some other like the S&P 500, right? But in general, it is what Bitcoin does, what Bitcoin says will happen is what's going to happen in the markets, except for when we get the shift from the Bitcoin spotlight to then like Ethereum and then like the altcoins and etc. That is like practically the only time. So yeah, that's why I cover Bitcoin too, because if Bitcoin's going to go down 5 or 10%, the like Turbo is going to go down more. Like the only time Turbo held better was like for 1 or 2 days back in February, where Bitcoin went down like 5%, Turbo went down like 3%. That was like 1 or 2 days. That was like an exception. But other than that, Bitcoin is the main, is the main guy. Just curious. Really surprised how ETH has been underperforming. Yes, I do think it is going to make a comeback, though. I do think Ethereum will make a comeback. Yeah, Ethereum will make a comeback. I think that you guys got to remember, like, these big institutions, everything, they're going to be comfortable. They're going to want to be doing something with what they're comfortable with. Ethereum's the second biggest coin. They're going to pump it up, make money. Yeah, it's kind of like outdated in so many ways, but you gotta think like them. They don't really care too much. Like fundamentally, there's so many coins. Like Caspa fundamentally is like a million times better than Bitcoin. Does that really matter too much? No, because the world isn't about being fair or what's right or what's better always, right? It's about who's controlling what and who's early and stuff. So that's why like your Litecoins are still gonna pump. That's why like Bitcoin Cash is gonna do decent. That's why XRP. I mean, XRP was a bank coin, had its issues and stuff, but like that's why all these coins that are already established are going to do decent. You think it's possible that this is a head and shoulders forming to then head to the upside on Bitcoin? No. I could see why you guys say that, and fundamentally, this would be like the most respected. This would be the most like fundamental pullbacks, right? 92k gap, 92k gap filled. Right, retest, go higher, right? Does whatever, boom, retest, go higher. I would be really surprised. For one, we wouldn't follow global liquidity, right? That index would become irrelevant. Um, and at that point, things like at that point, even I wouldn't be too certain with what's going to happen if we really did do like a reverse head and shoulders. Yes, or it is bullish pattern, but it just wouldn't make sense. It really wouldn't make sense. And at that point, altcoin season can be delayed by like a whole year and a half. Um, yeah, I would be genuinely surprised. Like, I think overall, like we are more in this stage. We are more in this stage. I do believe so. I do believe. I also seen a. I just think it's just taking, you know. No, I do believe so. Right, and at that point, we also, the structure that may be like the change of structure too, because we would have to see how the candles close. At that point, that might be an equal high. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would not be a fan of that. I get why people see it based off global liquidity, based off data. Like it just also wouldn't make sense lingering around so long here before we break up, because we literally just lingered here for 7.5 months before we broke up, right? We went up a lot, we consolidated, we went down for the fundamental pullback, the higher low, right? Higher low than this. And now I believe what we're going to be doing is we are just retesting, sweeping, and then going up. And I think any type of like correction would, we probably would see like more fundamental corrections during the bear season, because this would make the most sense, like coming back down here, potentially somewhere into here, and then going up like this 6 years from now, right? Or whatever. Um, right? That would make the most sense. I understand why people can see that. I understand why. But I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Um, oh, wait. Yeah, good buying. It would be a good buying opportunity this week, in my opinion. Obviously, I was not a financial advisor, but in my opinion, based off what we see every time the global liquidity, Bitcoin has been following our global liquidity to the T, right? To the T so far. So I do expect it to continue that way. I do, like in terms of structure too, I expect the S&P 500 to overall within this week or next week to create all-time highs. To create all-time highs. It had, guys, you got to realize, right? Bitcoin practically follows the S&P 500. This is like the most bullish sign ever. We had a fundamental retest on the last highs for S&P 500. We had the biggest wick. So it was a rejection, the biggest rejection of selling pressure. We have a doji candle, and we have global liquidity pumping, going up. So we have four big pieces of data, technical analysis, and fundamental pullbacks that happened that suggest S&P 500 is going to break soon and continue to just explode, right? Explode. And then that's when I think we're gonna have like a big, massive correction. That's when I think we're gonna have a very, very big correction. Also, yeah, in terms of just fundamentals for Bitcoin, we did close higher on the May, created a higher high, right? We created a higher high. Structure is different compared to what it was here. It is different. If we printed lower than, this like 102,000, then yes, I would have said that head and shoulders is very, very possible. The reverse head and shoulders, but we didn't. So I do believe that we are looking to just continue going up higher and higher. I really do. I really do. These markets are waiting for some good news. Sold some turbo before the drop and got into a layer 3 coin. Could you please, or what L3 coin into I don't know what L3 coin is. Anyways, I'm gonna bounce. Good chatting, and I hope everyone bags in chat. 5,000x later, y'all gonna pay some reforger. Head and shoulders on the short term. Zoom in. Been holding turbo since November 2023. Very, very impressive. This sucker dropped to 0.45 on the Friday, and Monday hit 0.10. Wish turbo would love this like L3. Could you check it out, Sniper? Like within the past couple of weeks. Oh. Oh, you talking about like this? I just believe we're retesting off of the highs before we bounce up. I believe that is the context. I believe that is the context of, because usually like a reverse head and shoulders like this or head and shoulders like this would create selling. Yeah, selling. Because reverse head and shoulders is bullish, right? Boom, boom. Aha. Little PP, but yeah. Oh my god. Okay, guys, I gotta go literally in 2 minutes. I don't know what L3 is. I'm gonna look at it. Is it just literally called L3? What, layer 3? This? There's no way this is this. There's no way this is like the real data. My 67k liquidity is garbage. I mean, if this is the chart, then pullbacks are expected. I mean, anything is yeah, guys, everything is going to be pulling back for the next couple of days. I am still overall very, very bullish. I have to go. I probably should have went like 5-10 minutes ago. I am sorry if you guys are coming in at the end. This was supposed to be like a 30-minute stream. I'm running late. I always run late, but it's always great talking to you guys. So that's the sacrifice, right? That is a sacrifice in life. We'll cover Seth, come back. We'll look at Swiftcoin tomorrow. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys do take care. Always enjoy engaging with you guys. It's really, really fun. You know, we could, guys, before I officially end, we could also talk and look at other stuff. I don't know what you guys are into, right? We could look at sports, maybe some gaming stuff, maybe some esports things, you know, things outside of crypto and finance. Like I said, who knows what the chat's into? There's still like 30 of you guys. Maybe you guys are into whatever. But yeah, we can always have chill streams. Not every stream has to be about finance or money or charts, which I guess most of them will always be. But if we ever do stream longer, right? If maybe, you know, if we have a bigger community, you know, I plan more ahead. Maybe streaming can be something that can integrate into my schedule for like 3 or 4 hours a day, right? Become kind of like a streamer type personality, which I don't consider myself, I never will, but you know what I'm saying. Then, you know, we could be possibly in the future, like I said, talking about gaming, maybe gaming, sports, cars. I mean, there's like a million things, right? Food, fun little challenges, bodybuilding, video games, and crypto for me. Yeah, look, I ain't no bodybuilder, but I have been going to the gym at like for the last month very, very consistently. I have lost, and not like water weight and stuff, like a real, I have lost a real like 12 pounds in the last month because I went on a 5-day water fast. Most days I was eating 16, like half the days I was eating 1,600 calories, then some days I was eating 1,200 calories, and I slowed down, and again I've been kind of like just in like maintenance mode, but I am looking to really, really accelerate this again, at least for 1 to 2 weeks, because I am actually flying out to Austin for a convention. I am flying out to Austin for a convention, so I do want to be a couple pounds lighter than I am now, and yeah, it's gonna be even hotter there. So thank you. Yeah, guys, like I was just like getting so fat. I was just to the point. I was like, I just feel terrible. I feel unhealthy. Any type of fast food I would buy just wouldn't, like, I don't explain it. Just wouldn't taste real. Like it just wouldn't taste real. Like when I make homemade food in my like cooker in the oven, which I don't even use oil now. you know, it just tastes real. Like the vegetables, everything just tastes good. Last week, I saw on Uber Eats, it was just like a buy one, get one free chicken, KFC chicken sandwich. And I was like, you know what? I haven't done any takeout in a while. I'm just gonna do that. And it was the most disappointing thing. The bread just seemed sad. The chicken just seemed sad. And I was like, why did I buy this? Why did I waste like 12 bucks or whatever it was? Like buy one, get one free plus delivery plus tip and stuff. I'm like, why did I buy this? Why did I waste my money? It was so sad. It genuinely was. So yeah, once you hit 40, you can't eat scrappy more. You just start hurting. Yeah. Yeah, the older you get, you know, the more punished you get for eating certain types of food. I'm looking to maintain my weight in America because I haven't been in America for a while. So, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am gonna try the In-N-Out. I am gonna try some, you know, barbecue. I heard that like Austin is great with barbecue. I mean, just Texas in general with barbecue, like tacos, fajitas, um, you know, some American food, like even like trashier places like Sonic, just for the adventure, right? Just for the adventure, just to try it out. But I'm not gonna be trying to indulge and like overeat, you know, like have 5,000 calories a day. I'm gonna try to eat and maintain and be around break even. If I do eat even more, like an extra 500 or 1,000 calories, then I should, then I am, and I do plan on going to the gym every day, doing some type of cardio there, because I will obviously be staying in a hotel that does have that stuff. So just as long as I can maintain, even if I gained a pound over a week and a half, it's not the end of the world because it's American food, and you know, some of the food has way more steroids, all this other crap, right? So I wouldn't be upset about that. But overall, I'm looking to break even, maybe even lose a little bit of weight because I will be walking a lot, convention, still training and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, guys, that is it. We will talk about some other stuff in the future. We will make sure we build a community. Maybe talk about sports, gaming, some other stuff. But yeah, that is it. Thank you all so much for being here. Love you guys so much, and I'll